sign of the times. You probably can't see from where you're sitting, but this is a Sports Illustrated cover with a hashtag on the cover. And it says, #SI-Linsanity. You might know that for about 5 minutes last spring, there was something called Linsanity in New York. And now it's moving to Houston. And it was very interesting to see the folks at Sports Illustrated try to capture this sense of the conversation by putting a hashtag out there. I think this is a good idea. That one of the things that journalism, there was some criticism of this saying, gee, how can you do this? Aren't you exploiting the phenomenon that's going on? My sense is that that's what journalists do. We participate in the national conversation or the local conversation, the regional one. We talk about things that people are interested in. People are talking about Linsanity or Jeremy Lin. Why not participate in that? So I encourage that, and I think the EIJ conference folks have done a terrific job of publicizing the hashtag and getting it out there in ways that other conferences have not. And we'll take a look later at kind of the impact that the hashtag has had and how many people are tweeting and all of that. So one of the things that I encourage people to think about is if you're doing a major project or you're doing a major series, think about announcing a hashtag. My tips for hashtags, they should be the shortest possible, unique hashtags you can create. At Columbia Journalism School, we announce our hashtags to our incoming students. So if you're in the class of 2013, let's say, we announce it in advance and encourage the students to have a conversation. And of course it helps that the faculty can spy on them or listen in on them. But it really helps bond the class before they even arrive. One of the lessons we learned about the importance of the uniqueness of the hashtag is that it used to be something like CJ09 when we first started doing this, but it turned out there was the Canadian Union of something else that was having an event and their hashtag kind of overtook ours. So the shortest possible unique hashtag is what I would recommend you do when you're creating your hashtags. And you have to be, with a lot of social media, semi-obnoxious about this. You have to emphasize it to people again and again that this is the hashtag, this is our Twitter handle. Like one of the things I'll talk about later is how to get more Twitter followers. One of the things is you've got to tell people what your Twitter handle is. How often do you do that? Where do you put that? We will talk about that a little later, but please think about that as well. So I use a service called Hash Tracking, which some of you may be familiar with. Has anyone here used this? So Hash Tracking is a small startup out in California, and what it does is it shows you the traffic around tweets. We run something up in Columbia, as you heard from John, called Social Media Weekend, and as part of that, we were very obnoxious about the hashtag, and we kept telling people to tweet with it. And we had 500 people in the audience, but as you can see from here, we had more than 2,000, almost 2,000 people contribute to the conference. How? Because these were people all around the world who were following the hashtag and were sharing that with and participating in the conversation. So you have a 500-person physical event, but what you're doing is getting that out there by using digital stuff. So let's take a look at where we are here at our conference. So I'm just going to blow this up here a little bit. So since 1:30 today, we've had 166 tweets and 83 contributors. So let's see if we can blow up those numbers as we go forward. We've had 285,000 impressions that have been generated and the reach of 125,000. That means 125,000 people follow these 83 people who have tweeted. And we'll keep an eye on these numbers to see who those folks are and how they're sharing things. So let's just look at this. I'm just going to show you here. Oops, sorry. I'm just going to show you the folks who are participating in this, and we can see what numbers they have generated. So here's how you go in here, and the top 20 it says. So I'm just going to blow this up here. And if I come down here, if you look on the right, Journal Toolbox. Where are you? At Journal Toolbox. Where are you? There he is. So Mike's sitting in the back, and he's tweeted 6 times, and he's generated 87,000 impressions because the number of people who follow him. I see Cosmo Diva, I don't know if you're here, but Cosmo Diva is tweeting as well. So you're able to see the number of tweets and how active somebody is using this service. If you are interested in testing out the service, email me and I'll be happy to connect you with the folks who are creating this so you can take a look at it and see how it works. So we'll come back and see if Mike is still in the lead at the end of this. And you can see SPJ SO of South Florida has done the most tweets. We'll see how their numbers look in a little while as well. Now, I'm going to walk you through some examples of what I believe is one of the new things that has happened in journalism that we need to, one of the new trends that we need to think of. And the hashtag captured that a little bit. How do you take the events you're doing, the work you're doing, and connect the physical and the digital? I think the more we can do both of those, the more successful we're going to be as journalists.